Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today, up on the grooming stand, we have a very grumpy Leigh. Emma is not feeling it today. My goodness, she gave me a run for my money with with trying to do her hoofs. And, you know, this old gal is probably just fed up with the weather, with the heat. Who knows, right? She's just not feeling it today. And that's okay. We don't have to feel it every day, but we still need to be groomed so that you feel good about yourself and you don't have any knots and we knock some of the top layer of dirt off you. It'll be a quick grooming session with her, hopefully, because she really doesn't, have the length of coat anymore. We've talked about her at 13 plus. She's, she's going to be what she's going to be. And she's starting to thin, kind of like old ladies do, myself included. And even, interestingly enough, even this late in the summer, she is still throwing cashmere. So her coat and her capabilities are changing a bit. It's not unusual. She's older. So at any rate, from a rambling perspective, because we're into grooming and rambling, right? You guys have done Meet the Goats. If you haven't done Meet Leigh, take some time to meet Leigh. She was one of my founding does. Video is in the Meet the Goats playlist. She's my heart goat. She's my baby. But really, we're at the end of July. You're going to see this probably mid-August, to be fair, because, I do keep my grooming just a little ahead, stacked up, in case I have a week that I can't get to it or something else. But so August is county state fair time, right? At least here in Jersey. I think it's, a little bit earlier in some other areas, but here in Jersey, it is where everything starts, right? The first week of August is the very first state fair up in North Jersey, and then it kind of marches through the county fairs all the way to the end of August. And ours is one of the last, ours being the one local to me, is one of the last at the end of August. So are you going to the state fairs this year? Are you going to your county fair? Do you even have one? Do you know whether you have one? Let me know in the comments what your experiences with county fairs. And if your experience is none, I highly recommend checking it out at least once, right? It is a bit kid oriented. Usually there's rides and there's plenty of different food. And again, depending on where you are, like the Minnesota State Fair is incredible. It's huge and the food is amazing. But some of the other fairs, especially county fairs, tend to be a bit smaller events, some food trucks, some local businesses, a lot of informational stuff. And it's actually where I found a lot of the services that my county has that no one knows about, right? Search and rescue, some volunteer opportunities with fish and game and wildlife. Just some neat stuff that goes on in the communities that you may not hear about because it's not pushed forward online. It's all volunteer. Nobody has time for social media. So yeah, let me know if you're doing county fairs this year or state fairs and what's your favorite part. My favorite part is the animals, of course. I love to see the kids with their animals. In our area, the focus is mostly on dairy animals. There's a little bit of market animals, but we don't have, at least for my county anyway, we don't have a market auction. I say that, and maybe we do, but it's not like a giant market auction, right? So the kids aren't raising meat animals and auctioning them off in the same way. They may actually, now that I think about it, be doing it in a much smaller version, and I just never went to the auction because I have no need. But for the most part, the bigger focus, I know you're all ornery today. the bigger focus is on dairy animals, at least, again, in the goat area. Sheep is a kind of a fiber, wool, shearing, handling. And I see a lot of dairy cows. But of course, I'm not a cow expert, so there's probably meat cows or Angus in there somewhere. I think Angus are tough to handle, if I recall correctly, though. So yes, I love to walk through the animal barns. And one of the nice things about my county versus some of the others is we have a lot of diversity of selection of stock. So you see a lot of different breeds of goats, from the normal Nigerian dwarfs, we see Alpine, we see Oberhassi, we see Kashmir, Angora. So it's a nice mix, a nice blend of species. And of course, then we have the different types of sheep. And since I'm a knitter and a crocheter, I absolutely love to go, see the different types of fiber while it's on the sheep. There's usually a demonstration about shearing and fleece work, which I have zero interest in, by the way. Like, let me just be clear. There is no way I have the patience to work with sheep or fleece. It's a whole different ball game, and it's just not my thing. Doesn't mean it isn't right. It's just not my thing. We also have a relatively large turnout for birds. So lots of different chicken species, a lot of different ducks, geese, turkey, peacocks. I love seeing them at the fair. I love seeing the variety and the fact that the kids are getting to know the different varieties, what they do, what they have, what their purpose is, right? What they're best for. And I've been seeing bantam coach in there, which is fabulous too. My guys are a mixed flock. They're not show animals. I would never sell them as show animals. They're pets. They're pet quality. And because they're a mixed flock, their genetics are not color specific. I mean, they started out that way, but they breed with each other, and it could be a buff to a black. And, so yeah, the bird may look black in terms of the phenotype, which is what they look like, I think, if I remember my terms correctly, and their genotype will be a mix between the black and the buff, which is of course not ideal if you're breeding a show for black or buff. So I don't sell chickens as show animals. They're pets, they're fun, but I love to see the show quality animals. And every so often I get lucky enough to get my hands on one. The kids do sell their chickens at the fair. And that's always nice to be able to get my hands on one and bring one into the flock. It's just something a little special knowing it was locally hatched, locally raised, cared for as a show animal by somebody who, I know you're all sorts of wound up today. We got to get your belly combed. All sorts of fun knowing that, local 4-H'er raised them. And then the other area, the last area of the animal barns, at least in our fair, is the small animal. Guinea pigs, rabbits, a lot of different types of rabbits, which is always cool. I actually got a rabbit from the fair one year. She was a mini Rex, absolutely loved her to death. She was fabulous. I miss her. I know we're almost done. Oh my goodness, Miss M. You are on fire today. I know. Can we do the last bit? Do you think you can handle that? Yeah? Look, I'm not even touching you with the brush. So we know it's not the brush that hurts you. It's just you don't want to be dealt with today. And I can't say I blame you. At any rate. So yeah, guinea pigs, rabbits, from a small animal perspective, always fun to see that as well. See the different breeds. When I'm at the Sheep and Fiber Festival, which is a more knitting, crocheting, wool, yarn festival, that's in September for us. There is a focus on, again, the fiber animals. So, you get to see some sheep. You get to see some really cool Angora rabbits. But the county fair is just special because now you're talking about, kids that have raised these animals, that have done everything in their power to raise these animals to be handleable, to be show ready, to be groomed, to be, just absolutely magnificent in the ring, and then magnificent as pets afterwards, or to be handled afterwards as breeding stock. So, like I said, if you haven't checked out your local county fair, 4-H fair, if we have them here in New Jersey, you have them wherever you are in the world, right? Or within a close proximity. They may not be heavily advertised. They may actually be really small affairs. But check it out if you have a chance. Get outside for a few minutes. Take a look at things. It's kind of cool to support the community that way. I'm sure the admission price, whatever it is, ours is an interesting admission price. It's $15, I think. $15 to park, but admission is free. I may be mixing my festivals, but that's kind of the roundabout. And so, you can fill your car with people. And then, if you split the price, it's $2 a person or something. That's a lot of people in a car. You'd have to be doing a van. But seriously, think about, how you can, for very, very, very little bit of cash, spend a few hours. My county fair, I can spend 2 hours there tops, because I'm not going to sit and eat, from every food truck. We do stay and see some of the horse shows. I don't stay all night for the fireworks. We're not doing rides. My days of the tooth chipper are over. So, we spend some time walking around. We chat with some folks if we have a chance to. We see the vendors. We go through the county tent, which sort of runs through the services that are being offered, or that, have information available. I absolutely go through the arts and crafts tent, the knitters, the quilters. The quilts are amazing. Oh my God. The stuff that's on display there is just mind-blowing, especially since I can't stand sewing, which is weird, right? I knit and crochet, but I can't stand sewing. What do I know? Are you going to poop for me? Yeah, you've had enough? You're done, and you're expressing yourself quite well. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. The good news is she's done. She's clearly had it. So leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you going to go to your state fair, your county fair? I really want to know. And what's your favorite part about it? I hope you enjoyed our time with Miss Emma, who is on fire today, my old lady. Yeah, I know. You're done. We're done. Have a fabulous day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind. Bye for now.